Yeah.
That's exactly right. Bobby, another Orangeburg native.
Yes,
the
yes.
Orangeburg duo there.
That's right.
Any other Orangeburg folks that have made the Myrtle Beach area home? Folks that are part of your early clan?
Well, the Rebecca Hines was at one time in Orangeburg, who is the business administrator.
Sure, of course. That's fantastic, Brown. Well, you know, so many things when we think about a concert series. For folks who, just to sum up a little more about this Sunday's performance, obviously, what are some of the things that folks could see for those remaining tickets if they call now or come by the church? What are they going to see? Just break down a typical Sunday performance.
Well, the Classic Quartet, we formed about 8 or 10 years ago, and we haven't done anything in 6 years. So we're calling this Classic Quartet Together Again. We all got so busy. All of us are music directors at large churches, and we had to just give it up for a while. And we primarily do very familiar opera selections, and then we do a group of this time of German love songs. Then we have a fabulous, hilarious opera called the Grasshopper Opera in costume that we act out. And then we close with a Broadway show called Song of Norway, which is the Grieg music, and we have 2 wonderful, wonderful dancers, ballet dancers, that will be helping us with that. And yeah, I think it'll be a wonderful, very varied afternoon that people will enjoy.
Just conjuring up images of the Grasshopper Opera right now, just conjuring up those images are worth whatever the price is.
It is.
Tickets. And, a lot of viewers probably want to know that. Obviously, seeing performances, to get an idea of what the cost is for performances, do they vary performance to performance, or are they always the same price, or does it depend on the seating there?
No, I get so many of my people, like I watch for the Metropolitan Opera auditions, the winner, and the Van Cliburn, which is the most famous. As soon as the winner's announced, I usually already have them booked a year ahead, even before they know who they are. I know they're going to be fantastic. And that's how we are able to afford as I told you, the story of Olga Kern, who is now probably #1 pianist in the United States. We got her for $4,000 and wanted to get her back this year, and it was $25,000.
That's amazing, bro.
And then you're going up to Joshua Bell, who's $40,000, and so it's outrageous the fees that they can command now.
You obviously pass that savings on to folks. So if someone called today to get an idea of the pricing for this Sunday's performance, what are the cost of tickets?
If they get a season ticket for the transepts, $50 will get them into all the concerts.
You're kidding, great.
And the center section is $75.
Okay.
And then we have sponsors for $300 and benefactors $500. This year we added a concert master for $1,000, thinking we'd get no one, and we got 6.
Oh, come on.
Yes, so we said we should have been doing this a long time ago.
Yes, absolutely. 6 folks at $1,000. That is fantastic.
We find out there are a lot of people that really want good classical music here, and we're losing out by not having a wonderful concert hall here. It would really be nice to have.
Absolutely. Coming up on a silver anniversary just a few years away, you're already planning that, aren't you, Brown?
Oh, I really am, yes.
Already planning that silver anniversary, which, of course, a few years away. You mentioned some German songs on Sunday, and I was wondering about that. Do you have to learn German or other, whether it's Italian or French, for instance? Do you have to learn those to be able to perform those songs, to really get deep into the language, or how do you go about preparing?
You actually do. You coach everyone. All singers have coaches in New York as well as voice teachers, and those coaches are very fluent in their speaking of the languages and teaching. So they make you translate every word, and so you know exactly what you're singing.
Yes.
And even though I've had a couple of years in college of French and German, when I was in Germany auditioning for opera houses over there years ago, you get where you can speak after you're there for a while in phrases, but you definitely have to know what you're singing about. It's not just like memorizing words phonetically and just giving them out. You've got to know. So that's why we always put translations in when we're going to sing in a language, so people know what you're singing about.
Good. So folks will get programs on Sunday.
Yes, absolutely. Have all the words in.
That's wonderful. You know, when you think about performers for yourself, Brown, that have gotten you excited, other performers both on a regional, national, or international side, are there folks that really tickle your fancy?
Well, fortunately, when I was at Juilliard, I was able to go to a wonderful master class by Pavarotti, and that was one of the highlights for me to see him, and a lot of other singers. We were recently in Charlotte to hear Renee Fleming, who is the big going soprano at the Metropolitan and all over the world now, and she gives master classes also, and those are the things that everyone tries to get in on in New York, are the Maryland Horns and the Pavarottis and the Domingos, when they'll announce like once a year they're going to give a master class at Juilliard. You want to be there and catch
I bet. A lot of folks probably want to know, how do you prepare for a concert? Let's say, how will you prepare for Sunday's performance? Is it just purely natural, your ability to really pipe it out?
Well, you spend so much time taking voice every week and coaching lessons in New York that you build up a very strong repertoire of songs, and then you just, I have like 3 major recitals that are ready to go anytime, and I just take some from one, some from another, and so forth.
But I mean, your voice itself, how do you, I mean, what are things you do? Do you massage your throat? Drink or eat certain things, or not eat certain things?
Well, I try not to eat 3 hours before I sing, but primarily it's just keeping a lot of water in you. So that's one of the best things for singers, is a lot of water. And then of course every day for a half hour or so I do vocalizing. You have to keep that up, particularly as you get older, as I do. In New York you don't have to worry about that because you're singing most of the time. When I was doing the Broadway shows and some operas up there, you're singing 3 hours a day in a show. You don't have to worry about as much warming up. You're just automatically warmed up.
And this would be the same for Kay Sloan and Robert Baxter as
Kay
well?
sings all over, and Bob does too, and Teresa, of course, is playing all the time.
How exciting. How exciting. That's fantastic. Brown, let's go real quick. We've just got a couple of minutes for viewers who may not be available this Sunday to see the performance, or may not even be in town in mid-December. Some of the other performances, if you want to just skim through those.
Okay.
I'm sure you know them all by heart, but
yes.
January 20th.
Right. We have on the 20th a group coming from Salzburg. It's called the Ensemble Salzburg, and they are going to be playing for the first half all the music from Mozart's comic opera, which has tunes you'll know even though you don't even know what they are. You've heard them so much from TV commercials to concert stage, from the Magic Flute. And then the second half they will be playing a program of varied composers, but also more Mozart, because that's Mozart's hometown, Salzburg. And they're a fantastic group. We have had the cellist in that group here before as a soloist, and he is the principal cellist with the Salzburg Orchestra that tours the United States once a year. And so that's going to be a very exciting concert of some wonderful piano, violin, cello, and flute. And then we have this Chu Fong Huang, and a lot of people say, I'm glad you're pronouncing that. But she is so beautiful, and she was the finalist in the Van Cliburn competition last year, and she won the international piano competition with the Cleveland Orchestra. And she's coming down, going to play a great program.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Of course, we've got
the Freak Promenade concerts are bringing another famous Chinese pianist down that is making her debut in Carnegie Hall next week, Di Wu. And Teresa Quintero and I will be doing music from the movies and some Italian love songs. And then in February we have Agnes Naj and Philip Powell from the college. Agnes is a New York-based cellist and a fabulous player. And then Jan Hart and I will be doing organ and piano works.
And again, all this there at the Sanctuary. Very easy to find for viewers who may not have been our viewers in the PD or southeastern North Carolina. If they're just coming on down 501, they're going to take a left here on Kings Highway right out front.
At 13th Avenue and Kings Highway.
It's right there. Very easy to find. 13th Avenue North. Okay.
Then we're having a celebration of Broadway on April 27th at 4.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, great. You know, as we think about so many performances over some of the changes that have been made, any special changes or improvements over the last 22 years, Brown, things that stick out in your mind, things from the first the first couple of performances that you've continued to improve for people who may not have been in the last 5 or 6 years? Is there something different they're going to see, or even first-timers?
Well, I think the tenors from Dublin will be a definite first, and the group from Salzburg will be a chance for them to hear a first-rate chamber group, world-class chamber group, and the pianist. But we try to keep the concerts fairly the same each year, with the chamber group, a wonderful pianist, then a major group like Mantovani, or the Lincoln Center group, and that kind of thing. But I've seen the concerts change primarily in numbers who attend. We started out these promenade concerts, which used to be called Organ at Noon, with 60 people. Then the next year it was about 90. And last year, January, February, March, we had 350.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, and so they're catching on. It just takes a while.
That is tremendous. Well, free concerts, that
right.
turns a lot of interest there. 448-4496.
That's the number.
And if folks call, that's obviously the First Presbyterian Church number. And one other thing you highlighted is this is not a First Presbyterian Church event. You all are a 501c3.
Yes, we have our own charter. We're just very thankful to the Presbyterian Church that they let us use their space and their instruments. Right. And that's very important when we get grants, particularly the city grant, which we're so thankful for that we get every year. They really help our series out.
The city of Myrtle
and the
Beach.
Chapin Foundation also gives us some help, and the Hearn, Britton, and Martin.
Yes.
And this year we added one. Crescent Bank is going to help us with the Christmas from Dublin. So we're really appreciative to those groups.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Brown. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you, and thank you for all your promotion of the arts.
Oh,
we appreciate that, Greg, and all that you do in the city.
That's very kind. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Brown Bradley, the founder and artistic director of the FPC Concerts. Coming up next. If you've got any kind of imagination, you've been imagining just like me the last 30 minutes when Brown talked about the grasshoppers, just the grasshopper opera, the thrill of being out this Sunday. $10. He didn't say it when he was talking about the $50 for the season tickets, because it's such a tremendous deal when you think about the $25 for the three Irish tenors. The three Irish tenors, you got to get out there. Of course, that's December 10th, but this Sunday, 4 p.m., this Sunday, 4 p.m., the amazing kickoff performance. They're getting back together. You got to get out there. 448-4496, 448-4496, or pop on by the church at 1300 North Kings Highway. Get out there. Just think about it. The thrill of being out for the cultural event of the year, the FPC Concerts, 22nd award-winning season. Get out there.